श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी। बरनउँ रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायकु फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारी रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कबि कौबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीना राम मिलाए राजपत दीना। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माहि जलधि लांगी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुमरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुमरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरहि हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो 7 बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंदी महासुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा, की जयनाथ हृदय महदेरा। पवन तने संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान। We started the journey of Bharat ji from Ayodhya to Chitrakoot. And the journey is somehow taking a very long time. There was marriage season recently, and we went to the marriages, of course. Right? And then we realized that a distance of a very short distance, very short, probably from one entrance gate to the other entrance gate, takes 2-3 hours. Right? Why? It's not even a distance of 5 minutes. But the joy, right? The Baratis, they are dancing, they are singing. They just don't want to move forward. They're enjoying themselves so much that they don't mind taking 3 hours for that less than 5 minutes distance. Very irrelevant, you must be thinking. But what is the message? Everything gives us a message. If you are spiritually in tune, you can be anywhere and still learn. From these Baratis who are dancing and enjoying, you realize that when you start enjoying the journey, the time and distance does not matter. Even fatigue does not set in. Just imagine dancing for 3 hours continuously. On an average day, if you ask them to walk for 10 minutes, they'll say, "Main thak gayi." But at that time, that moment, dancing for 3 hours continuously, and the distance, the time, nothing matters anymore. When you start enjoying the journey, when you lose yourself and you connect yourself and you're 100% in the moment, when we are totally in the moment, when we are totally 100% here, when we are enjoying the journey, the destination is important, but the journey becomes beautiful. And that is the journey of a sadhak. It is very essential for us to start enjoying the journey, because this journey is going to be very, very long, extremely long. Kya pata? And this journey, at least when the Bharat is moving, they know from one gate to the other gate, we have to reach, the destination is in sight, right? And tentatively, probably they have the duration in sight also. Neither does a bhakt have the destination in sight, nor the duration. But they start walking, and they keep walking. And it is very essential to enjoy the walking on the path. Otherwise, what happens is, with a lot of enthusiasm, we come to the path. And then what happens? It fizzles off. कि कुछ नहीं हो रहा. Some people have a big issue saying कि हमारे में ही परिवर्तन नहीं आ रहा. अब जन्मों जन्मों के संस्कार हैं, जन्मों जन्मों की वासनाएं हैं, परिवर्तन आने में समय लगेगा. और जब हमारे में ही परिवर्तन नहीं आ रहा, तो what about the people around us? हम, when we blossom, they are going to feel the fragrance, right? That is when the bees come. हमारी blossoming अभी नहीं हुई है. Why blame the people around us? So the moral of the story is, enjoy the journey. And there is a very beautiful thing, I don't know why it has been coming in front of us, me again and again. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. मतलब ठीक है, अगर आप enjoy नहीं भी कर रहे हो तो tell yourself I'm enjoying it. Fake it till you make it. कहते हैं ना, it is very beautiful. Let me find the right words to say it. When does sadhana begin? Right? The sadhana begins when the journey becomes effortless. It is not started till it becomes effortless. जब तक आपको effort डालना पड़ रहा है to read, to follow a certain decorum, to be in the moment, whatever. Till there is effort, the journey has not even begun. The journey begins when everything becomes effortless. So what do? We keep doing it. We keep telling ourselves, कि no, I'm not going to let my mind take the better of me. And you keep walking like Bharat. Irrespective of what. We saw Bharat being criticized, being challenged, being lewd, right? Even Rishi Bharadwaj, it was not the intention, but he gave him the opulence of the world. It is said all the Lokpatis were standing with their mouths open. What are Lokpatis? Greater than Arsurpati, like greater than Indra. They were standing with their mouth open, ki so much of opulence we have never witnessed, we have never generated, we do not know what this is. Where is it coming from? That much power Bharadwaj Rishi had. Now, one more point is, sadhana and siddhi should never be used for the benefit of the self. Why was he staying in some simple huts when he could do so much? No. From Vishwamitra also, when we talk about Guru Vasishtha and Vishwamitra, he said, I want the cow of plenty to do the yagna for the betterment of the world. I do not want the cow of plenty for myself. See, it is not wrong in having something, but with what intentions are we owning something? That matters. Thing in itself is not good or bad, right? Wealth in itself is not good or bad. So over here, so much of opulence was put in front of Bharat. And even the Ayodhya Vasis. It is said in some texts, not here in Tulsi Ramayan, that for a moment, the people of Ayodhya who were so desperate to meet Sri Ram, who felt wasted after he had gone, for a tiny little moment, they felt that this is good, we'll stay here. हमें आगे जाना ही नहीं है. Happened. It's not mentioned in Tulsi Ramayan, but in other texts they say that it happened for a moment. They said it's all right, it is so nice, it's so amazing, we are getting everything, this is paradise, better than paradise, हम आगे क्यों जाएं? Be very careful. When too much of opulence, too much of material things are flowing your way, stop. Like Raja Janak, he was always in opulence, right? But he did not lose his focus. He was a Raj Rishi, right? Sita ji's father. He was a tapasvi and he was in opulence also. Because he was there, opulence was not in him. It was around, he did not let any of these temptations take room in his heart. For a moment it is said that the Ayodhya Vasis lost that control, lost that focus. But of course, they were Ayodhya Vasis. They regained their composure. They went back to their tapasya. Bharat was not lured and he moved forward. The journey, how does it go? He goes from all the rivers, he comes to the Ganga. With Nishad, he is going towards Prayagraj. He reaches Prayagraj, he meets Bharadwaj Rishi. That is where we have reached so far. And when he's talking to Prayag, we heard what he had to say. But there is one more beautiful thing that Bharatji said when he was standing at Prayagraj. The gods of all Tirth, the Sangam, he said, over here, very, very important, let Sri Ram take me for a wicked fellow. Now Bharatji is telling Prayagraj, let Sri Ram take me for a wicked fellow. Janahu Ram Kutil Kari Mohi. It's okay. And let the people call me an enemy of my masters. All the same, by your grace, may my devotion to the feet of Sita Ram grow day by day. This is under Doha number 204, the verses. We'll pause because still we are getting a result, right? Till we are getting appreciation, we are very happy, right? Okay. But over here is saying, even if Ramji doubts me for a moment, although he's very convinced that Sita Ram are never going to take me wrong, but even if Ramji doubts me and he says I am wicked, right? Even if people say that I am what? An enemy of my gurus and my preceptors and my masters, does not matter. Even that, let it not deter my devotion to Sri Ram. See, when things are in our favor, when we are getting appreciated, let's bring it to the worldly level for a minute. We get a lot of enthusiasm and we keep doing that thing, right? Finally, I'm getting my returns. I am getting appreciated. I am getting that recognition. That means the loyalty is not towards the work in hand. The loyalty is towards the applauses that you're getting. That means that the locus of control is not inside. Our locus of control is outside. And that is when we become the puppets in the hand of this Srishti. So Bharatji is saying, may I not stop no matter what. Even if the God that I am pursuing does not appreciate me and doubts me, does not matter. Even then my bhakti will grow. Many a times it happens when people take somebody to be their guru, right? And then the guru does not pay any attention. Or the guru does not, look at you. Sometimes you get dejected and say, "Ye kya guru hai?" How does it matter? When you have taken somebody to be your guru, he is your guru. Right? Whether he is paying attention, he is not appreciating, he is criticizing, your devotion should not sway. And many a times people unguru that guru. Right? We unfriend, right? So we unguru कि नहीं हम दूसरा गुरु ढूंढेंगे, गुरु ठीक नहीं है. ऐसे थोड़ी गुरु बदले जाते हैं जैसे कि हम कपड़े बदल रहे हैं. No, once a guru, always a guru. Then you don't change a guru. So over here he says this, and all the same by your grace, may my devotion to the feet of Sita Ram grow day by day. And again he says, he gives an example of a beautiful bird, the chatak bird. All its life, the clouds may neglect the chatak bird all its life, and on its asking for water, they may discharge thunderbolt and hail. जरूरी थोड़ी कि पानी ही निकलेगा. वो बेचारी चिड़िया, she is looking at the clouds all the time, and what happens? What comes in return? Thunderbolts, right? And hailstone, hard stones. But the bird will fall in the bird will fall in the intensifying its love for the later. The bird just intensifies its love for the later. The love for the clouds does not reduce, in spite of the fact that instead of rain and a sweet breeze, hailstones are being thrown. होता है ना, in the face of adversities, there are people who are great devotees of God, and they do total seva, पूरी जिंदगी निकाल देते हैं. And suddenly what happened? They unfriend God. They say, I don't believe in God, I don't do anything. Why? I did so much for him. What did I get in return? अरे चातक bird की तरह बनो. No matter what, your devotion should not sway. It will gain in every way only by intensifying. Again, just as gold gets brighter by being put into fire, even so the lover shines by sticking to its vow of devotion to the feet of his most beloved Lord. Even if adversities after adversities, sometimes people give very beautiful examples. Ki see, Vivekanand, so and so, Ramakrishna Paramhans, they were such great devotees of God. They never harmed anybody. And look at how they died. They got cancer. The family did not have anything. They suffered so much. But it is not like, directly proportional. In mathematic terms, it is not directly proportional. Depending
even Vivekananda got cancer, eh?
Even Vivekananda ji got it, Amma.
Oh.
See? So, he suffered a lot. Even his family was in poverty, Amma. Vivekananda ji's family was in poverty. There was a time when once he wanted to go to the Devi, Kali, and ask for wealth because he had nothing in the house. So his guru said, go, ask, go ask. No problem. She'll give you what you seek. प्रभु ऐसे ही होते हैं ना, जो मांगोगे वो आपको मिल जाएगा. Right? Very beautiful story there is, right? Lord Krishna was lying down. And who went? Arjun and Duryodhan. Both went. One sat at the head of the Lord, the other at the feet. Now the minute the Lord opened his eyes, he saw Arjun first because Arjun was standing at the feet and Duryodhan was at the head. He asked, he said, okay. So the Duryodhan said, I came first, but the Lord said, I saw him first. So I want you guys to ask what you want. And Duryodhan got very worried. He said, now Arjun is going to ask for the entire Sena Bal and I'll be left with nothing. So Arjun said, no Lord, I do not want anything. I want you to be with me in the battlefield. When you are standing with me, even if I stand alone, I will be strong. That is all that I want. And Duryodhan was in such relief. He said, thank God. Arjun, I always knew, was dim-witted. Usko yahi laga na ki dekho, I gave him the chance. He had the chance. Still, look at what he chose. He chose the Lord over all the power. And he said, I want the power. I, as it is, came for your Sena. The Lord said, theek hai, Arjun, but let me tell you one more thing. I am not going to lift any weapon. I am not going to fight on your behalf. मैं कुछ भी नहीं करूंगा, क्योंकि क्यों नहीं करेंगे? प्रभु कुछ नहीं करते हैं. The sooner we understand it, the better it is. He is a drishta. Gita is actually talking to us. It is telling us the characteristics. महाभारत में क्या बताया? मैं कुछ भी शस्त्र नहीं उठाऊंगा, मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगा. Yes, because he is a drishta. And in our lives also, the Lord is watching. Why? Because he has given charge to fate and karma. वो कुछ नहीं, he doesn't fiddle, he does not even fiddle with his own destiny. What will he do fiddling with ours? कुछ नहीं करते हैं वो. So, फिर भी, he said, नहीं प्रभु, I don't do anything. You just be with me, my Lord. When you are with me, it is all right. And in the same way over here is saying, the lover shines by sticking to his vow of devotion to the feet of his most beloved Lord. In response to Bharat's prayer, we know what the Triveni Sangam said. And Bharadwaj Rishi, everybody is a witness and their hearts are melting. See, devotion cannot be hidden, right? If there is true devotion in somebody's heart, it is going to seep out whether the person says something or not. And the other way around also. Bharadwaj Rishi is also standing there. Triveni Sangam hai. He took his dip. He came out. Ma Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati ko pranam kara. And you know what he says? Again, he says there is an assembly of sages over here, right? What is he saying? Muni Samajo Aru, Tirath Raja. Pura Muni ka samaj hai, Munyo ka samaj hai. All of them are here. And Tirtho ka Raja. The supreme from all the Tirths also is standing in front of you. And he says what? Here is an assembly of sages and we stand at a place which is known as the king of the sacred places. सारे तीर्थ को एक जगह एक तराजू पे डाल लो और तीर्थ राज प्रयाग को एक तराजू पे डाल लो, वो ऊंचे पड़ेंगे. This is the Mahima of Prayag, the Triveni Sangam. And he says, great harm will come to a man if he states even a fact on oath at such a place. अगर आपने कुछ भी गलत करा तो a lot of harm comes to a person because you're standing at such a sacred place. वहां जाके भी आप गलत करोगे तो क्या होगा? And if one tells a lie, there will be no greater sin than this. वहां जाके त्रिवेणी संगम में जाके, इसीलिए कहते हैं ना, when we go to the Tirths, purify yourself. Go there not for tourism, because those Tirths, what you're eating, how you're baking, what you're saying matters. So over here is saying, great sin will come to a person who lies over here. So I speak out of the truth, knowing as I do that you are all wise, while the Lord of Raghus has access to the inmost recesses of the heart. See, सब लोग wise हैं, they know whether you are lying or not. And Thakur ji to hai hi na. God knows everything. See, we can lie to the entire world. We can hide things from the entire world. बट भगवान से कुछ नहीं छुपता है, राइट? He hears without ears, he sees without eyes, he walks without feet, he talks without a mouth, he smells without the nose. He is that Nirakar who has become Sakar for his devotees. So he's saying there is nothing that I can hide from my Lord. And what is he saying? And this is so beautiful. I am not at all sorry for what my mother has done. जो माँ केकई ने करा कर दिया, it's okay. I am not sorry, I am not angry, nor am I troubled at heart over the thought that the world will look upon me as mean. मुझे वो भी अफसोस नहीं है कि दुनिया मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेगी. What is the world going to think about me? I fear not lest I should spoil my future life. I am not worried about my future life also. Nor do I grieve over my father's death. Raja Dashrath passed away. I am not grieving because his was a life well lived. You grieve over somebody's death like when you see कि पूरी जिंदगी निकल गई और इन्हें कुछ नहीं करा. मनुष्य जीवन बर्बाद हो गया. When he has wasted his human birth, that is when you grieve for somebody, na? But Raja Dashrath, his death was not to be grieved upon, whose deeds and fair renown shine forth throughout the universe, who had sons like Lakshman and Sri Ram. अब जिनका राम जी जैसा बेटा हो, his life is not, if his life is not well lived, whose is? Right? कि Sri Hari himself came to be his son. And not only this, Bharat is saying, how did he quit his body? The minute Sri Ram, the Lord, went away, he quit his body. ऐसा हो सकता है कि हरि राम जिस दिन हमारे मुंह से नहीं निकले हम दूसरे दिन खाना नहीं खाएं, वो भी नहीं होता. See, that is why we say na, कि we have to discipline ourselves. If we get angry, what do we do in return? If we don't chant, what do we do in return? थोड़ा थोड़ा discipline जरूरी होता है. Look at his discipline. The minute he realized Ram is gone, he says, no point living. जिस जीवन में प्रभु नहीं, उस जीवन को जीने का कोई मतलब नहीं. And it left. So he's saying, I'm not even mourning over the death of my own father. So thus there is hardly any occasion for lamentation on his account. But what is it that I am so pained about? Why am I falling and crying and weeping? When I am not angry with my mother, when I am not sad about the death of my father, when I am not worried about what people are going to say, the future does not bother me, the past is not bothering me, everything is okay. What pains me is that dressing themselves as hermits, they said that the bark of the trees is what they were wearing, not even cloth. Lakshman, Sri Ram, Lakshman and Sita roam from forest to forest. Just imagine. Roam from forest to forest without shoes on their feet. Karahi muni besh, firahi ban banahi. From one point to the other. And what are they eating? Clad in all this, living on bare fruits. That also only if they get it. ऐसा थोड़ी कि they have a grocery store from where they can go and buy it. If they get it, they eat. If they don't get it, they don't eat. They sleep on kush grass on the ground. They don't have any blankets or anything to cover them. Leaves, and under the trees, they even endure cold, sunshine, rain and storm. They are enduring everything. Look at the hard reality of the Vanvas of Ramji. It is not how we see it in the serials. It must have been so difficult. So he's saying that is what is paining me. Nothing else is bothering me. My hurt, my pain is just seeing them in so much of ordeals. It is this burning agony which is ever consuming my breast, so that I feel no appetite by day and get no sleep at night. ना तो मैं दिन में कुछ खा पा रहा हूँ, रात को ना मैं सो पा रहा हूँ. मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है. This is really something that nobody, and there is no remedy for this. And Bharat is saying there is no remedy for this. till I meet Sri Ram, till I get him back, I am going to burn like this because my brother is suffering. My pain is not because of anything else. And this is something that we have to think. When we are doing something, right? ये तो devotion है, bhakti है. This is love, probably closest to the mother's love maybe. When the mother feels the pain of her child, if a mother wants to relate to it, कि when the child is in pain, how do you feel? Terrible, isn't it? When just as a mother, this is the closest. Maybe it is not, still we do not feel the agony that Bharat is feeling. But yes, we can put our children there. But isn't it sad that we are also burning with this agony day and day night? What is the agony which takes away our sleep? Or takes away, maybe, I might be wrong, but it is not the task in hand. It is the result. It is what people will say. It is what judgments they will pass. Isn't that what bothers us? It is what results we'll get. Will we get appreciated for our work? So we are not engrossed in the work. And we are not sad whether that whatever we have taken in hand happens properly or not. But we are more worried about the judgments around it. It's like, when we post something on Facebook, because today is the world of technology, right? Instagram, whatever we do, we want to post it. Why do we post it? Then we get worried about the number of likes we are getting, right? Oh my God. And then it causes another agony. I did not get enough likes. People, arey bhai. So it is this kind of a situation. Unfortunately, this is how we understand it. Oh, people did not acknowledge. I did not get enough likes. We check again and again how many people have liked it. So over here he's saying, focus on the task in hand. It does not matter what other people are saying. It does not matter what is the result. It does not matter whether somebody likes it or dislikes it. And that is why we are not able to sleep. That is why we are in so much of agony. It is not because of the work, because of the peripheries of all these things that bother us. लोग क्या कहेंगे? कह लेंगे? क्या फर्क पड़ता है? नहीं लाइक करेंगे, नहीं करेंगे, कोई बात नहीं. See, it's so easy to remove our agony. Unfortunately, he's saying कि मुझे वो सब problem नहीं है. My agony is because of the core work only. It is not because of the periphery. So once we focus on our core work, everything else will become immaterial. We'll sleep properly. We will work harder. Many a times we tell the children, right? And many a times we've mentioned it in this class also. We have leaking buckets, right? The agonies, the 3 points are very beautiful. And that's why I keep repeating it to myself. The regrets of the past, जो हमने करा उसका regret. The anxiety of the future. And the excitement of the present. And then of course the judgments and all. You can just make a list of what actually bothers you. Then you'll realize it is not the task, but all the other things. And we are unnecessarily carrying the burden. The task is not that heavy. So over here he's saying कि that is what is bothering me so much. कि मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है कि this disease, there is no remedy. For our disease, there is a remedy. उनकी disease के लिए कोई remedy नहीं है. So I have to reach Ramji. Saying this, he walks on. Bharadwaj Rishi is overwhelmed. And while all this is happening, Indradev is not sitting quietly. Now, Indradev is always a witness to everything that we are doing. There are two ways to look at Indradev. Indradev is the designation in the heaven, Indradev, who sits there, who is the head of the heaven, the king of the heavens. Indradev are Indriyas, 5 Gyan Indriya and 5 Karm Indriyas. If you think of it, any task that you take up, right? Any simple task also, what causes hindrance is not the people around us. It is our Indriyas only. Isn't it? सोचिए आप, एक बार सोचिए. हमें लगता है we are blaming the people around us. No, they are not 1% of the problem. It is me, my Indriyas, my Panch Gyan Indriya and my Panch Karm Indriya and my Chit, Buddhi and Ahankar. All Man, Chit, Buddhi, Ahankar, Gyan Indriya, Karm Indriya, all these which are just within me are causing the maximum issue, not the people around us. जैसे कहते हैं ना 3 तरह के ताप होते हैं. Adidevic, Adibhautik, Adhyatmik. So, the biggest pain, the biggest suffering is being caused by us only. Nobody else is causing us any suffering. So, over here, Indradev is watching and he rushes to his guru, Brihaspati. Brihaspati is sitting there and he says, listen, everything is going to get undone. Everything is going to get undone. Brihaspati bolte, what is going to get undone? See, we worked so hard. All the devas put together, Ma Saraswati, your guidance. We went there, we convinced Mantra, we convinced Ma Kekai, we were able to get Ramji out of Ayodhya to the jungle, and look who's coming. Bharat is coming. And see, everything is going to get undone. Why? Everything is going to get undone. Why is he so worried? He is worried that Bharat has so much of love, so much of Sahaj love, so much of Saralta, that the Lord is going to give in. कहते हैं ना, भक्त वत्सल होते हैं भगवान. अब भरत जाएंगे, he will say, you come back to the kingdom, Ramji will go. Everything will get undone. See, we have to stop Bharat. And Indra is so agitated. He said, any cost right now, we have to stop Bharat and send him back to Ayodhya. Let's do what we did. Let's deceive him. Let's put some maya on him. Kuch to kare. And Brihaspati looks at Indradev. And what does he say? It is true, Indradev. In spite of having 1,000 eyes, you're blind. आंखें होने से किसी को दिखता है ऐसा नहीं होता ना. It is only from the heart, the eye of the heart, that we can truly see the world. Our eyes are not sufficient. So he's saying 1,000 eyes. फिर भी you are blind, Indra. Now Guru ने बोल दिया इंद्रदेव को, तो इंद्रदेव stopped. He said, why are you saying this? मैंने ऐसा क्या बोल दिया? See, this is for the greater good that we got Ram to the forest. Ram has to go. We cannot let Bharat go forward. So what is he saying over here? Brihaspati says, listen, whatever we did in Ayodhya, whatever we did with the help of Ma Saraswati to Manthara and Kekai Ma was with the permission of the Lord. He was in the entire planning committee, he was there. It was his permission, it was his will. Hence, we were able to implement what we wanted to do. इसीलिए कहते हैं ना, प्रभु की इच्छा के बिना एक पत्ता भी हम नहीं हिला सकते. तो कभी भी अंदर ये अहंकार नहीं आना चाहिए कि मैंने कर लिया. Brihaspati is saying whatever we did was not our doing. We could do whatever we did because of the approval of the Lord. The Lord wanted it, so it happened. And over here, if you by mistake also touch Bharat and try to put your maya on Bharat or try to trouble Bharat, there would be nobody else as angry, as hostile as that Lord himself. Indradev, this is not going to happen. Now, Indradev does not understand, right? He's just standing there and he still does not understand where he has gone wrong. So over here, he's saying very beautifully, Bharat ke darshan se, now who is talking? Brihaspati is talking to Indradev. Te sab bhaya param pada jogu, Bharat darasa Meta bhava rogu. Just by looking at Bharat, the bhav rog gets removed. What is bhav rog? Agar aap जानना चाहें, because we always use it and it is very beautifully explained by Swami Tejomayananda ji. So I will take the liberty of reading it out. I'm sorry we are going a little slow today. But over here, understanding bhav rog, because कहते हैं ना, Bhav Sagar se tar liye, crossing the ocean of mundane existence. But what is mundane existence? It is a very beautiful way of looking at it. Over here he says, the term Bhav signifies becoming. According to, this is another way of looking at it. The term Bhav signifies becoming. It represents the worldly existence. We are never happy with what we are and how we are. We are never happy with what we are and how we are We constantly desire to become something else. Right? The desire to become is what deceives us. We want to become rich, and that greed makes a mockery of us. And thus it goes on and on and on. This ever-present desire to become something other than what we are is the melody of worldly existence referred to as bhav rog. It is so beautifully mentioned over here. Bhav rog. Bhav is to become. And what is mukti? And it actually makes sense, because when we say just be, to be, just be. हम कभी just be हो ही नहीं पाते. I'm being. I'm just being. I'm in the moment. The minute we are able to do that, we have crossed the ocean of mundane existence. What is the ocean of mundane existence? The desire of becoming. So beautiful. And then there is a very beautiful, हम क्या बनेंगे? And he says, ultimately, what are we going to become? What can the small, insignificant jeev trying to change its lot become at most? मुझे ये बनना है, मुझे वो बनना है, I want to do this, I want to do that. What? The story is, there is a story of a frog who once saw a bull and decided that he would inflate himself to become huge like it. And we all know what happened, right? How much could he possibly expand himself? How much? In the end, he exploded. All beings suffer precisely in the same way. You know why these artists, that all the Picassos and the different, for that moment, when they achieved their art, they were not trying to become, they were being. That is when you achieve. But for me, it's like when an athlete is, when he throws, he's not trying to become the gold medalist. He is fully absorbed in being there at that time, putting all his energies, all the indriyas, karm, gyan, indriya, man, chit, buddhi, ahankar, everything is just in being that. If you focus on becoming, the being is lost. Focus on being, and becoming might happen. So, full focus. And that is what he's saying. Ki just by looking at Bharat, that longing to become becomes being. Just being in the moment. And the bhav rog, the illness of becoming, the illness of this bhav rog is removed. And you want to put Maya on him, that is not possible, Indradev. It is not going to happen. And he says, Barak Ram kahat jag jeu. Hot taran, taran nar tehu. And what is he saying over here? Even they who utter the name of Ram only once in this world. Uttering does not mean Ram. When it comes from your entire being is put in that emotion, that oneness with Ram happens only once probably in your lifetime. Right? That is what they are indicating. Even they who utter the name of Ram only once in this world not only reach the other shore themselves, but are also able to take others across. As for Bharat, he is dearly loved by Sri Ram and is his younger brother too. No wonder then that the journey should be delightful for him. He's saying, he is remembered by Ram. Ram does Bharat. So why do you think the journey would not be delightful? Why do you think that he won't accomplish what he has come to accomplish? Now Indradev is still lost. He's still trying to understand. क्या होता है ना? Even if we have thousands of eyes, हमारी दृष्टि जैसी होती है ना, वैसा ही हमारे को संसार दिखता है. Now Indradev, उनको है the selfish interest of what? He wants Ravan to be destroyed so that he can live in peace in Indralok. It is not the greater good that he is seeking. And why does Indra actually get worried when any tapasvi is actually able to reach that ultimate phase? Because he never knows that this tapasvi might take over Swarg and he will be thrown out from the asan. And if you go inside, Why do our Indriyas become so agitated? Because then their dominance gets lost, right? You become a master of your Indriyas. Right now we are the slave of our Indriyas. We are the slave of our Gyan and Karm Indriyas. They do not want us to become the masters. So Indra is agitated beyond a point. He's so worried that he does not understand what to do. And Brihaspati again says, listen, the Lord protects his devotee. Don't you remember the story of Raja Ambrish and Durvasa Rishi? This is a beautiful story actually, and we will shortly take this before we move forward. So over here, Brihaspati mentions Raja Durvasa Rishi and he mentions Raja Ambrish. Now Raja Ambrish is said to be one of the greatest devotees of the Lord, and he was fasting. And he was having his Ekadashi fast. And during Ekadashi, the opening time and the closing time are mentioned. So you have to open your fast at that particular moment, and you start fasting also at that particular moment. ऐसा ही नहीं है कि the next day at any time you can open the fast. It does not work that way. There is a time duration and a moment that is given where the water or the food has to be taken in. Now Raja Ambrish was on fast, and when Rishi Durvasa came. Now Rishi Durvasa came, Raja Ambrish said, Aiye. Of course, if a sage is coming, even a general Atithi is coming, if they are coming at lunchtime, we'll say, na, aaj aap bhojan hamare saath hi karenge. Right? So he said, today, please let me serve you. Now Durvasa Rishi said, no, Abhi, I have to go and pray, and that is when I will come. So Ambrish said, it's okay. He sent his sevaks, and they went with Rishi Durvasa. And while Rishi Durvasa was praying, the time to open the fast came. Now Ambrish said, before the Atithi, I cannot eat. Because my Atithi is here, I cannot take the food. It is always said that when you are preparing food for somebody, you should not eat before they have eaten it. It is not only for God, it is for the guests also. Aisa nahi ki I made food for the guests and before they came, I have already eaten the prasadi. No, eat something else. The food has to be eaten by the person who it is prepared for first. That is the decorum of it all. So he said, now I cannot, now I have to wait for him. I cannot, no, but at the same time, if I don't open my fast right now, it will become bhang ho jayega. So the Guru suggested that do one thing. Instead of eating anything, once you do the Charan Vandana of the Guru, of the gods, there is this Charnamrit, right? Water. Why don't you just take a sip of it? In the same way, you would not disrespect Durvasa Rishi also, and your fasting would also be honored. So Raja Ambrish was about to take a sip, right? And at that moment, who came? Durvasa Rishi. He is known for his temper. He got so angry because he said, you disrespected me. You called me and you did not even wait for me. And you're opening your fast. And what he did is, Kritya karke ek Rakshasi hai, he unleashed the Rakshasi on Ambrish. Ki go destroy Ambrish. But the Lord was watching. Right? The Lord could not do much. But his Sudarshan could not stay on his finger anymore. Ki Prabhu, aap karo nahi karo, I am going to go and protect him. How is it possible? The Sudarshan came, not only did he destroy Kritya, the Rakshasi, the Sudarshan Chakra started chasing Durvasa Rishi to destroy Durvasa Rishi also. Because how could you come and try to render any harm to the devotee of the Lord? Now Durvasa got so worried. He went to Brahma, he went to Shivji. They said, we cannot do anything. So he went directly to Vishnuji, and Vishnuji said, main bhi kuch nahi kar sakta. The Sudarshan is not in my control. So he said, it is your Sudarshan Chakra. It has come out of your finger, and you're saying it is not on my control. No, it is not. Then whom should I go to? The time has become still, right? And the Lord says, maybe you'll have to go to Ambrish himself. Durvasa Rishi comes running back to Ambrish. Raja Ambrish joins his hand and he sits down. Raja Ambrish said, Aap Guru hain. You cannot be doing this. Aap uthiye. And what did he say? He said, even for a minute, if I have not harbored anything negative for Guru Durvasa, in spite of all that has conspired, may the Sudarshan spare his life. See, इसमें भी बहुत ना, to be so powerful, what is the prerequisite? What is that magic thing? Harboring no ill will towards anybody even for a moment. That is when the Sudarshan would listen, right? Yehi agar for a moment also he said, what kind of a rishi is this? He is losing his temper. He does not deserve to be a rishi. The Sudarshan would not have listened to him also. So प्रभु किसकी सुनते हैं? प्रभु ऐसे भक्त की सुनते हैं कि no matter what is being done to him, there is no ill will towards anybody in his heart. And the Sudarshan stopped. He did naman to Ambrish ji and he disappeared. So over here, Brihaspati is reminding Indradev कि don't forget what had happened to Raja Ambrish. Do you want the same thing to happen to you? You cannot actually do anything to whom? Bharat. Now he is listening. He is still not convinced. Now there is another question he has. The question is, आपने तो बोला कि God is impartial. That is what he had always learned. Now you're saying God is partial. He has more love. He has more love towards his devotees. So he is going to favor the devotees over the people who are not devoted to him. Now Guru Shukracharya again says, no, that is not what I am trying to say. Right? He says, this is not the thing. He says that God is not partial. God is not favorite one over the other. Again, Indradev does not understand. So over here he explains. He says, he gives the example of rain, right? Rain falls equally everywhere, isn't it? But only the farmer who has plowed the field, who has put the seeds inside, is going to see the crops. So is the rain partial? No, the rain is not partial. Right? But आपने अपनी field plow ही नहीं करी, seed डाला ही नहीं, तो crops कैसे आएंगे? And then you will say the rain was partial towards that farmer. No, it wasn't. He was prepared. Then again an example, fire. When the fire is burning, if you distance yourself from the fire and you don't stand next to it, फिर क्या होगा? You are going to say it's cold. The fire is partial towards the person who is standing closer to it. Is the fire partial? No. You have distanced yourself from the Lord. Hence you don't feel the grace. अब जाइए तो सही उनके पास. The fire is never partial. Is the fire partial? The sun, and another example that is given is the sun. And this is a very common example. Suppose we are sitting today and the sun is shining so brightly. If I choose to close the curtains, is the sun partial? No. I chose to close the curtains. Hence the warmth of the sun and the beautiful glow of the sun is not coming in and my house is dark. The sun is never partial. So the Lord is never partial. We will look at 2-3 things. 217, I've marked it because these are very important points. I think we covered one, but we will slowly move forward. So he says, before we move on, माया पति सेवक सन माया करई ते उलटी परई सुर राया. What is he saying? अगर आपने मायापति की सेवक के साथ में कुछ गलत करा, so whatever you do, it's going to rebound to you. Be very careful when you are dealing with a devotee of the Lord. That is one point. Then 218, he says, never harbor in your mind, O Lord of immortals, even the thought of frustrating the purpose of a devotee of Sri Ram. For the same will bring you infamy in this world, sorrow in the next, and series of woes in your day-to-day life. Be very careful. And we do not know who's a devotee, who's not, right? हमें पता है क्या? See, the devotees don't look a certain way. They don't have a tag कि I am that favorite of Lord Ram. So why should we be mean to anybody? कहते हैं ना, सबसे हिलमिल चाल ये नदी नाव संजोग. क्या कहते हैं? ना जाने किसमें, it's a very frank, it is, the meaning is, I'm forgetting it right now. It says कि you do not know ना जाने किस रूप में नारायण आपके सामने आ जाए, ना जाने किस रूप में भक्त आपके सामने खड़ा हो, and you are being mean to that devotee. Because he might walk, he might talk, he might look the same. Jad Bharat the na, he used to look like a crazy person, but he was the greatest devotee of the Lord. So over here they are actually telling us, be very careful, don't be mean to anybody, because you do not know who the devotee of a Lord is. And then what will happen to you? You will bring infamy in this world, sorrow in the next, and series of woes in your day-to-day life. क्या पता हमने किसका अपमान कर दिया हो जिसके कारण हमारे साथ ये हो रहा हो, एंड देन वी से हमने तो कभी कुछ करा ही नहीं, हमें पता नहीं. एंड देन 219 Shri Ram. So up 2 points we have covered, right? First, we have to be very careful with the devotee of the Lord. Second, God is impartial. And we have explained, God is impartial. He has given everything to fate. जो कर्म है, फेट है, क्योंकि कृष्णा ने बोला मैं तो लड़ाई में तुम्हारे साथ नहीं लड़ूंगा, फिर भी मैं चाहिए तो मेरे साथ में आ जाओ. Now how do you identify? With this we'll close the class. How do you identify who is a devotee of the Lord? अभी तक हमने बोला ना, it's very difficult to identify a devotee. So they are indicating. Brihaspati says, Shri Ram's devotee are actively engaged in doing good to others. Ram Bhagat Parihit Nirat. Every day, Nirantar. Par Dukh Dukhi Dayal. Ram Bhagat Parihit Nirant. Par Dukh Dukhi Dayal. Bhagat Shiromani Bharat Te Jani Darapahu Surpal. He's saying Sri Ram's devotees are actively engaged in doing good to others, share the sorrow of others, and are very compassionate by nature. And Bharat is a very crest of the devotees, therefore be not afraid of him. भक्त से डरो मत, वो आपका कभी अनहित नहीं करेंगे. They are never going to cause any harm to you. They are the oceans of compassion. They are always in service of others. They cry at the agony of others. They are always willing to help others. Their life is a life of selfless love and service. Maybe you can identify a devotee like that. And he's saying, Bharat kuch nahi karega. You think Bharat is going to ask something that is not for the greater good, Indra? तुम्हें बताओ ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है? Because you are selfish. And that is why you see the world as selfish. Be very careful. Again and again, Ramayana tells us this. हमारी दृष्टि में दुनिया वैसी है जैसा हमारी दृष्टि है, जैसा हमारा मन है. तो over here he's saying very clearly कि you see the world as selfish, you are selfish. Bharat is not. He is not going to ask for anything that causes harm to the greater good of this world. Indra, there is no reason for you to get worried and tormented. Stay here. In fact, bow your heads to Bharat. Hearing all this, the Lord is true to his word also. He says not only this, when the Lord has given his word, do you think the Lord will go back on it? Don't you trust the Lord? हमें क्या कभी कभी भगवान पे भी विश्वास नहीं होता ना, कि भगवान अच्छा ही करेंगे, या जो भगवान कर रहे हैं वो अच्छा ही है. The only thing is because it is not happening the way we want it to happen. No, it is not happening the way Indra wanted it to happen. Does not mean it is not going to happen. Patience. Wait. Neither the devotee nor the Lord will cause any harm to anybody. They will always work for the betterment of this world. The Lord is true to his word and a friend of God's. While Bharat obeys Sri Ram's order, you are feeling uneasy only because you are dominated by self-interest. We are dominated by self-interest. ऐसा लगता है he's talking to us. Bharat is not to be blamed at all. It is your ignorance which is responsible for your uneasiness. हम इस दुनिया में uneasy क्यों हैं? Why? It is our ignorance. There is nobody else to be blamed. Not the Lord, not the devotee. And with this thought, we will stop today. Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki. Bolo Bajrang Bali Ki Jai. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान.